All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's market color session for 3rd of October 2024. My name is Abigail, and I'm going to be taking us through the first part of today's analysis, which is a quick one on commodity currency pairs, which include AUD/USD, NZD/USD, and USD CAD. After which, Demola Global is going to come on board and do the second half of today's analysis on indices. Now, before we proceed, kindly let me know if you can hear me and see me by leaving an emoji for me in the chat box, please. Good morning, Nii. Good morning, Bola. Thank you so much, Bola. All right. We can proceed then. Okay, so starting off from AUD/USD, like I always do, for our time frame, you see that what we have right now is a clear bullish play. Kindly hold, sorry. Demola, just give me a second to share my screen. Okay, can you see my screen now, everyone? All right. So starting off AUD/USD for our time frame, it's a clear bullish play. What we have is very obvious to the blind, right? 1 hour time frame as well. We see all of this happening. However, what I expect on AUD/USD short term is a quick reversal all the way into this level. So I have 2 points of interest where I expect AUD/USD to sell into first before I continue buying. The first one, which is great, currently is exactly, and then the second one is right here, right? Okay, so now that I've seen this, I'm going to pretty much go on the 5-minute time frame and mark out even more specific points of interest to see what price does at those levels. Now, remember, ideally, we always want to trade along with the trend, right? So for me now, who takes reversal trades every now and then, before I'm even comfortable to start thinking of taking a sell on AUD/USD to trade into the level I marked out, I would like to see price violate all of my 5-minute points of interest. I'm going to show you shortly. So marking them out, first one being yesterday's high, second one being yesterday's low, the third level of interest, day before yesterday's high, which is right here, and then day before yesterday's low, which is right here. So for me to start thinking of taking that reversal trade, I want to see AUD/USD break below all of these levels and give me a clean entry on specific time frames like my 1 minute before I start looking for sales of AUD/USD. So you see that we still have a bit more time to wait for to see what price does. Now coming to the H1 time frame, you see that price has already come to retest this level and it is already reacting downward. Are we going to see AUD/USD retrace all the way back into the momentum right here, or even trade all the way back in here before it gives us that final move that breaks below all of these levels? We're going to be watching. But like I stated, I'm not interested in taking the sales right now till I see at least this level broken below. Once this gets broken down and I see entries, provided my 1 minute time frame meets my entry criteria, then I'm going to take a quick reversal trade, something very small. I won't be going in for too much, seeing as this is a reversal trade, right? So this is 57 pips I'm seeing, so I'll be targeting anywhere between 35 to 40 pips and I'll be out. But if price does not break below this level and just find support here and continues with the overall buyers that we see on AUD/USD, what we're going to be doing is to look for entries to continue the trend that we see, right? So you see how flexible the analysis is. You're looking at the chart, trying to see if the sellers come in, at what point do they come in, where can you get in to take what you can, and if they do not and the buy continues, you need to see X, Y, Z, very specific things to enter, right? So for me, who uses indicators, what I'd like to see before I even start buying AUD/USD on the 1 minute time frame, most of us do not have these indicators, so we could just write down the levels that we have marked out on your chart, and then when price gets to those points of interest, to just add your own analysis to it and take advantage of it, right? So for me to start buying on AUSD when I am confident enough in the buy and sure it's going to start buying, is for me to see a break and a retest. You see this move that we saw right here, in between here, this is exactly what I'll be looking out for. Our FS Bootcamp students, you already know this. Those who might not really know, the entry is for those who are not students of the FXP course, right? So I'll be looking to see this when price gets to my specific point of interest. However, as a recap, AUSD is heavily bullish, right? And I'm expecting short-term reversals. I'll be looking to take the sell provided all of these levels are broken below. What are these levels? Price action traders, you can just write them down. The first one is 0.68567. The second one is now 68763. The third one now being 69129, right? So I'm expecting a reversal back in here because price already traded all the way down here now. So I'm expecting reversals. Maybe we're going to see something like this. Just going to quickly draw it out. Is price going to stop here and continue selling, or is it going to trade all the way in here, or even all the way in here first before it gives us that final lap that now breaks below all of these levels? So when price breaks below these levels, we want to see a retest, right? And once we see this retest, we're going to be selling AUD all the way in here, but we're not going for too much. Remember, it's a reversal trade. For our trend following traders, just wait for price to get into this level or into this zone, and then fine tune it with your own strategies and take it from there. I believe this is clear. If it is, let me know if you can proceed. Just leave an emoji for me in the chat box. While you're doing that, I'm going to start on NZUSD while you type in your questions if you have any. So 4-hour time frame, NU, what do we see? Clearly bullish as well, right? Okay. So what do? We go straight to the H1 time frame. And the sell here has gone further than AUD did. You missed all of this move. So if you want to enter this sell now, which I'd advise you don't, because it has done a lot, it's already very close to where I would have marked as our point of interest, continue buying, right? So right now, what you should be doing is waiting for price to get into this zone. We're waiting for price to get into this zone. When we see this, right, and then our specific entry criteria met on lower time frames, then we're now going to ride the trend. On the M5 time frame, however, we see the bearishness we saw on the H4 and H1, it's even clearer here. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the exact same thing I did on AU on this time frame as well. Mark out the high, mark out, that's yesterday's high. Second one, yesterday, before yesterday's high. And then go ahead and mark out the before yesterday's low. And the final one being yesterday's low. So you see how price already violated the levels that we're looking out for on AU before we even start thinking of sales, right? Price already broke through all of this. So for NZUSD right now, what we should be doing is waiting for price to get even more specific and trade into that specific zone on the H1 time frame for us to now continue buying. However, if price gets into this zone and breaks below, of course, we just might be seeing a possible resumption of a sell trend. Remember, price is fractal. So whatever the lower time frames do, the higher time frame will eventually catch up. So if price gets here and does not find support, just breaks below and retest, you could be seeing a continuous sell on NZUSD, right? So the final pair on the commodity currency assets that we're looking at, which is now on the USD card, H4 time frame, for bearish, H1 as well, but also bearish, right? Overall structure is bearish, but I know some traders call this microstructure, the movement in between that does not take out the overall swing, right? But let's look at this now. So we see price has not really traded into this. We're seeing lower lows. The lower low has been formed, right? However, it has traded into momentum. So are we going to see something like this, right? We're going to be watching USD card. Going to be watching. However, our overall bias on USD card is to the downside, except price trading here breaks above and just continues buying. And then, of course, what do? We're going to fine tune our entries to continue with the flow. So for even more specificity, repeat the same thing that we did on the other asset classes. We're going to repeat them here. Sorry about that. Let me draw it again. By now, we should be familiar with the levels that we mark out using our all weather indicator. They are very repetitive, very systematic as well. All you want to see is A, B, C, D. You see that, you take your trade. You don't see it, you stay out. Okay, USD card. Now, price has broken above yesterday's high and it even came back to do a retest and then traded all the way into the trend, right? So, am I going to see USD card do this? The first level where it's going to find resistance at is here, which is the before yesterday's high. But if USD card breaks above this zone, then we just might be seeing a continuous buy of USD card, which would then eventually affect the higher time frames. However, if it does not find resistance, then we'll be looking at the overall 4-hour trend continuing its move to the downside. So yeah, I checked Finviz earlier and we do not even have a clear economic theme at the moment. Everything is mixed. However, it looks like people are running towards safe haven currencies more on the weekly time frame. Let's quickly look at that, shall we? Let's quickly look at that. So just waiting for it to load up. But don't forget that we have a news release coming out by 1:30 p.m. today, right? And that's on unemployment claims on USD. So that should move the market a little and hopefully give us a clearer direction by that time. But on the daily time frame, still refreshing. But you see that we have GPY and USD right here. But then look at where our CHF is. So it's not really clear. It's still mixed. We're going to be waiting to see when we eventually have a clear play. Most likely, CHF coming to meet its cousins here. And then we'll know if we have a clear safe haven play. And then eventually AUD, NZD would then begin dumping because you know that when investors start to run towards safe haven currencies, that means they are dumping riskier asset classes like the AUD and the NZD, right? So we're going to be watching out for that. Okay, I believe this session has been helpful. If it has, please just let me know by leaving an emoji before my colleague comes on board to do the second half of today's analysis. Let me know. Peeps don't lie. I see you. Good morning, sir. Olani, Noah, Ibukun, Fumbi, hi. Bola Chisom, Alamin Miyaki. Has this been helpful to you? All right. All right, thank you very much then. So if you have questions, you can go ahead and ask them now. If not, we're going to be heading on to the second half of today's market follow session. Yeah, Mr. Nee, you know, different days for different asset classes. All right, then thank you so much for joining. We'll be back shortly. Don't go anywhere. Cheers and God bless.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. How we doing? How we been? Welcome to the second part of this market color session. My name is Demola Glover, and I'll be going through the analysis on indices pair. That's the US 30 as 100 and also S&P 500 if time permits us. Thank you so much, Bola Chisom. Morning to you all. Let's go straight into the chart and see what we are having this morning. Let's see what the market is giving to us. That was a very beautiful analysis from my colleague, Abigail. The market has been somewhat interesting recently. Okay. Not my trading view. A sec, guys. Let me just set up. Please give me about a minute. Okay. I believe we can fire on here. Okay, please kindly confirm if you can see my screen. Just so I don't. Just so I'm sure that I'm sharing the right screen. Can you see my screen? All right. Thank you so much. So quickly on analysis on NAS for today. Okay, we're going to just start with US 30. And for US 30, we said that price is currently at a discovery level, meaning at a point where we've not seen it before or we've seen it at a long time, right? Price is just visiting 42,500 level recently, and then we are like all-time high. But because of what is happening across the United States economy, right? Election is coming, the struggle between Trump and Kamala, right? We can't say we are totally overbought. Price can choose to start moving up because no government or no current government sitting president will allow the stock to tank during his tenure, right? They want to retain power. So we can't say we are fully overbought, but technically speaking, we are fully overbought from what we've seen so far. But price has been in a range for quite some time now, meaning that we've not seen any breakout out of that level, this entire region here, right? Not seen a break. This is on the daily time frame. This is what we're having. Price has just been in one spot within this box, right? And then it's quite normal. We are waiting for a breakout, somewhat like higher highs and higher lows, because that's what price has been creating recently. Price has been creating multiple higher highs and higher lows to the high side. However, when you come to lower time frame like 4 hours, you see that although structure on daily is still properly bearish and bullish, sorry, you can see on 4 hours that okay, although we are bullish, price is failing to create what? Higher highs, right? This was the last high that was created. Hasn't been taken out. After that, the next one that was created was this. This hasn't been taken out. After that, next one that was created is just this. Hasn't been taken out. So that is giving us a signal that probably, most likely, that we might begin to turn to the downside. However, guys, this also, look at the previous low, hasn't been taken out. So we have all of this drama happening. This is from Friday last week till today. Today is Thursday. We have all of this drama happening, but price hasn't taken out the recent high and the recent low. So we are like in a fix, right? We're trying to just patiently wait for what can happen. Now, if we're looking for opportunity to trade this market, I'm seeing something very, very interesting that most likely can happen, right? Probability, like I mentioned, at this junction, we just want to sit on our hands when it comes to US 30. Nonetheless, we can also take advantage of opportunities when it comes out. I'm seeing a fair value gap on this 4 hour, right? I'm seeing a fair value gap that's been tested before, but not fully. I wish I could draw it properly on my screen. have it marked out on my own personal trading view. Let me change this color so we don't get confused. Okay. So I'm seeing this and got me thinking, can we, and also there's a box, right? A box strategy. All these are technical analysis, right? So there's a box strategy down here, a sweep of this low, and what did you see? Price broke to the upside and then never came back. So we might expect that one, price coming to this level to continue pushing to the upside. Number two is this fair value gap. It's a confluence things that happen when it comes to US 30 indices in general. Those hidden fair value gap, price might just tap into it and then we see that rally to the upside once again, and it's continuing the movement to the upside. One other thing that's giving me confidence to mark this area out as an area of interest, right, is because of this liquidity that's been accumulated. This one has been accumulated. Price just going to like take out this liquidity. It's like equal low, and then price take it out, tap into this fair value gap, and keep pushing to the upside. So that's one probability, one point of interest I'm looking at this morning in terms of intraday trade. The second is allowing price to come all the way to this zone here that we had sweep of the previous low and then a push to the upside, and then we're expecting price to come back to that zone and then start pushing to the upside again. So these are the analysis I'm having on US 30. Like I mentioned, overall higher time frame bias is nothing really has changed by in the ranging markets from the daily time frame, even from 4-hour time frame. These are just intraday opportunities that most likely can happen, and then we can take advantage of. Let's go to the 1 hour. The 1 hour, okay. And the 1 hour, this is a good spot again, a fair value gap here for the box strategy, right? For the box strategy, those that trade the box strategy, you understand. We have a sweep of this low and then price broke to the upside, and then we have a fair value gap. So most likely we can see price tapping into this zone again. So for those that want to take advantage of this market, of this analysis, you might just want to split your risks into three. So you want to risk, say, $100 or 1,000, splitting into three, 300, 300 in three places. Or you're trading a small account on trade, you have $10 you want to place on this trade, you want to share it into three places, and then one for this zone, one for this zone, and ultimately the last one for this zone, right? So that's how I look at it. That's how I approach the market when I see it in a very confusing state, or all at all. Just don't even trade at all, right? Just watch it. There's no punishment for those that don't take advantage of the trade. Just see how it reacts. But personally, I want to engage the markets from these three zones. I want to engage the market from these three zones from US 30. That's what I'm looking at currently. I know there has been a lot of tension with the United States election. Everybody is looking who is going to win. And the campaign is quite interesting so far. So let's go to the next one, which is US 100. That's NASDAQ. Let's go to NASDAQ. I had something interesting on NASDAQ. However, price has been very dicey recently. So we partook from, I think that was here, sometime in September, I started buying NASDAQ, right? We're anticipating buy, and we said we wanted this place to be cleared, this all-time high to be cleared, because we've seen the same thing happen with US30 and NAS and S&P 500. However, we also mentioned then that this guy is quite significant. His fair value gap is quite significant. But I, for one, I was expecting that it's going to react off 50% of this fair value gap, and then we just see a minor retracement and continuation to the upside. However, in fact, it didn't react from 50%. It covered the fair value gap, tapped almost into that other block, and then started retracing to the downside, right? So we are seeing a retracement now. I'm having about two area of interest is an obvious fair value gap, yeah, which I really don't trust. It's too obvious. However, I saw one on 4-hour time frame, which is closer to where price is. Okay. Yeah, this one, yeah, right? It has been tested once before. So this is quite interesting. The chart I'm using for mine, it wasn't tested, but I think on Pepperstone has been tested. So I think it's a difference in broker price action, which is quite fine. And then if it hasn't tested, then we can just, it's not that strong, at least not that strong. Price has already reacted off it the first time. So for NAS, I might just want to watch and then still look at how price is going to react to this zone. Because honestly speaking, I don't see it holding again since it has been tested once, but then let's see what can happen. Also, there's a box strategy around this zone. Those not very strong. Also, like the one we had on US 30. I wish this week cleared everything, but then it only cleared this previous low. So let's see how price reacts from this other block. Most likely going to just tap into this other block and then start pushing to the upside. So, and where am I looking forward for it to go and close at least? Sorry. And it has retested from this, that's tested this fair value gap. So I expect it this time around to go and clear, or if not clearing the all-time high, to react off from this other block, right? No, it's even cleared the all-time high, right? Because it has done all the drama it wants to do here. So we just expect it. And then when you check from weekly time frame, you see on US 30 now? Exact. Okay, weekly time frame. This is a fair value gap on weekly time frame, right? The full fair value gap on weekly time frame. So I expect that price is going to just reject off from, if not this week, if this thing is happen this week, then probably next week, price should just reject off from this fair value gap and keep moving to the upside. So that is my analysis on US 30 and NAS 100. From technical perspective, right? Technical analysis, I expect that price is going to, it's reacting off 50% of the fair value gap on weekly time frame, right? So you expect that this is going to close above this fair value gap. That's one. The second one is by next week, we now see a bearish candle that starts the week, tap into this fair value gap again, and then continue to the upside, right? A bearish turn bullish candle. So stuff like that. That's what I'm expecting across board. But for intraday basis, what am I seeing on intraday basis? To be honest, nothing really serious, except for this fair value gap also that's here. Most likely price we test and then start moving. Yeah, this fair value gap is kind of valid, right? Because just beneath it, we have the box strategy pattern. It's just I wish it was also like US 30 that was somewhere around there. So, but then we can still take advantage of it. I'll have my US 30 and NAS chart open side by side so that I will see which one price is reacting off from, so that if for any reason US 30 goes first or NAS is moving first, I'll just enter one of them while I use the other one to monitor, right? So that will be the end of analysis today on US 30 and NAS. Do you have any question? If you have any question, this is a good time to ask a question if we have any question. If you have any question, please do it to ask a question, any commentary, any fundamental news you have on US 30 that might be of help to us all. Okay, going through the comments and saying none for now. Malami is saying nothing on GBP. Usually today is on commodity asset and indices. By tomorrow we continue analysis on GBP, gold, yen, and the rest on that asset class. All right, in the absence of no question, I'd like to bring you to a notice that our ATM cash flow training is coming up very soon, the third week of this month. Ensure you tell somebody about it. If you're already a trader, but you have a trader friend that has been on your neck to learn trading, to have like a proper industry approach to trading, then ATM cash flow is a good start, right? It's a good start. It's mostly designed for synthetic markets, and the reason is because we don't have a lot of news fluctuation in that market, so they can learn and master technical analysis on that. Once they are very good and they've made so much money, they can now transit to the live forex market where you have a lot of volatility and the rest like that. Also, for those that know that, okay, I don't have time for trading, I don't have time to do all of this analysis, I'm really engaged with my work. You have trading bot available. I can deliver decent return in a month and you're performing very well. So do well to chat us up and get your inquiries and get signed up for that. Our number is available, our handles are available, WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, Telegram. Just chat us up and somebody from the team is going to respond to you and get you onboarded, right? In the absence of no question, we'll be reconvened by 3 o'clock for our New York market color session. Until then, I wish you all a profitable trading. Cheers and God bless, guys.